just want to get it out of the way. We sort of push some things in some boxes and slam a lid on it and pretend we've got a budget. This year, I waited to see if, in fact, anybody was listening. And what I got was they were not listening, we're hiding the issues, we're pretending the issues are not there. Not because we're evil, not because we're irresponsible, but because we've got a tough problem here, and that's why I put out a proposal, which was address mandatory time off, the very things that in the past we had opportunities to do it and we backed down. We stayed away from it. I'm voting right now to exercise my right, just as the other two supervisors who voted against it a week ago. I'm exercising my right to say my opinions. You might not have been listening, but that doesn't mean I'm going to indulge your failure to pay attention. I listened and I know why Supervisor A and Supervisor B voted against the budget. What about Supervisor C for Colfax? Well, I guess I was too generous last week. I guess I should have jammed it down last week, but I gave it a week. And I see no evidence that anything's been done and nothing's been brought back. And I'm saying, same-o, same-o. Well, okay, now we got a problem. Okay, it's there on the floor in front of us. Let's talk about it, see where we go from here.
Supervisor Delbar, you have a comment?
Yeah, just, Supervisor Colfax, you know the process as well, and you know that the timing that we're under, and you know the public hearing had to be closed, and we could have done this then. We were all listening. We were all prepared, and we all committed to seeing this thing through to the end. To bring this back today, and where we, from a timeline standpoint, almost an impossibility now, when this could have been addressed last week. That's the part that I think was the wrong approach. I do not fault you for voting no. I would have been better if you would have done it last week so we could have come to some resolution. That's the problem I have, not with your position on it, but the change in it when it messes up what staff is trying to do to legally get us through this process. Does that make sense to you? I mean, I'm not faulting your viewpoint.
Well, I'm not, you didn't hurt my feelings, if that's what you're concerned about.
No,
I guess
that's pretty much an impossibility.
But I guess here that, yeah, that's true. But the other side of it is here is that in this particular case here is you cast your vote last week, I cast mine this week. I didn't know what your motives were, and I didn't fault you for it last week. I don't fault you for it now. But you cast your vote because you had issues. I had issues. I was willing to go a week, see what happens. Nothing happens, and so now we're jammed up against this.
Well, we are jammed
We just disagree as to what point one should make strategic decisions, and that's always an open call. Thank you for your comment.
Well, the problem is, I think you had, and I'll let staff speak for themselves, but I think what they saw was 3 members of this board moving forward with a package, and now we have some real serious issues on timelines.
Supervisor Pinches, and then I'll go to the CEO.
Mr. Chairman, and I don't know what the process is from now, but in reality, what we've created is a situation is everything's on the table open for discussion. So, you know, it's just my challenge. We have today to decide, you know, which way is the direction, and I'm just throwing this out there, because at this point, I'm open for anything. Is the direction, do we want to, is there issues of revenue or expenses existing in the budget we want to change? Or should we go into, I would see with the next step, talking about the savings that are be attributed to furloughs? And I'm not even sure that we can even do that without the involvement of our union memberships, of the unions we deal with. So do we want to go into that? Because it's almost like this is the discussion we should have the first day of budget deliberations, not at the final hour. So, you know, keep in mind, this budget proposal that we have here today is a balanced budget proposal, and everybody can criticize it, me included. But it's something we have in place and can move forward with, where if we don't adopt that, then we're right back to where we were back in July. And that's throw everything on the table. So it's, everybody has problems with this budget, whether it's the revenue side or the expense side. There's no doubt about that, whether it's a teeter plan or the reality of the sheriff's budget or revenue sources, transferring solid waste, landfill closure money. We have all those issues, but do we want to go back like we're resetting the clock back in July and August, or we want to start with this adopted budget and then move forward? Because, we're already at the end of the first quarter in this budget that isn't even adopted yet. So do you want to go another 6 months with no adopted budget? And I guess that's my question is, the state, they go by their guidelines and whatnot for months and never adopt a balanced budget because they're supposed to adopt a balanced budget and they always leave off of the deficit. So what is it? Do we have a legal, it's our own